Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Tedious. Simply tedious, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Four Leaf Clover podcast. We've done it again. Four in a row. Whoa. What's going on here, man? Sorry about that. I had it on in the background there as well. So, welcome to the Four Leaf Clover podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We've done it again, 4 in a row, 13 titles out of 14. Andy, a stupid question to start us off, but how are you feeling, my good man?
Shite, mate. Just tedious. Do you know what I mean? That's winning championship after championship, trophy after trophy. It's just get a bit boring now. So I think I'll just pour myself a wee cup of Horlicks and just relax for the evening.
Aye. I think Michelle needs not just a cup of Horlicks, but a hairdryer. You just out of shower, pal?
I literally just jumped in a shower for the 5 minutes after the game finished to come on here. And the time just went like that. Literally that full match, I was sitting there like, oh, so I needed a shower to chill out after it. Bye. Hence the wet hair. So
it doesn't take me that long to wash my hair, so not having your excuses.
I'm still here. I made it in time.
The game finished, ladies and gentlemen. Dundee United 0, Celtic 5. Absolutely champion performance for the boys. The game started off, ladies and gentlemen, with a minute's silence for Papa Francesco. It didn't look as though it was going to get off to a good start, but it was pretty well observed after that. And then, Andy, the starting lineup. Any surprises in there for you? Kùhn came in for Forest and Jota came in as well. So any other sort of surprises in there for you, my man?
I would say probably Kùhn would be the major surprise there. I think we weren't really expecting him to start the game. So as it turned out, it was actually quite a good decision with Brendan. So, I think we were due a performance. And I think we got that off Kùhn. So I think overall that was probably the most obvious change that you'd be surprised about.
And Michelle, I think you were hoping for a couple of changes on last night's pod, and you got them. I think you were wanting Idah to start. Was that right? Did you predict Idah would start the game?
I didn't want him to start, but I did predict he would start. But I thought it'd be just Jota coming in. I didn't think it'd be Jota and Kùhn, so I was a bit surprised at that. But as Andy said, it's worked in our favour. But I still think that Forrest should have started, obviously knowing what today was for him and the club and everything. It's a weird decision, but it worked in the favour, so can't complain.
Aye, I thought it was a bit harsh myself, to be fair. Young James getting dropped, but aye, at least we were proven wrong yet again by Brendan. And that's why he gets paid the big bucks and we don't. Kùhn certainly come in and had a bit of a belter. So let's get into the game, ladies and gentlemen. On the 6th minute, Andy, there was no chances as of yet. Pretty slow start again for Celtic. But a Dundee United offside gave us another wee glimpse into Sinisalo. Spread himself well and a good save from the Finnish young stopper. Spread himself well. Good. It just shows you that he needs to keep his concentration at Celtic. He's not going to get many shots against him. Even though it was offside, it still was a good save at the end of the day.
I think we've spoken about this before, with concentration being a Celtic keeper, obviously domestically. You're not going to be as kept busy as you would up against better opposition, like you say in Europe, Champions League kind of thing. So concentration is a big thing, but you also need ability. I know, you've got to be able to, even if you're concentrated, to pull off the saves. So it was early in the game. It was offside, but I think Taylor allowed that boy to sneak in the back end of him there to get that kind of chance away. So just a wee kind of boot up the arse, I think we needed quite early on in the game. But that's not the first time that they've come in and started that way in a game where opposition have had a wee kind of go at us. So in the one hand, we can't moan that we're not getting competition and then moan when teams actually try to have a go for the start, So, but we dealt with it.
Yeah. And Michelle, we're very blessed with Kasper Schmeichel. He's came in this season and took over from Joe Hart. But we got another wee glimpse of Sinisalo in the 9th minute with a wee bit of his distribution. see what his distribution's like. It's obviously not up there with Casper's. It wasn't the best ball for him. Sort of ended up at the sort of halfway line. He tried like a wee dink. And Dundee United had a really good chance from it, actually. It fell to Payton and probably should have done better, but Sinisalo got away with one there.
We seem to be quite lucky when it comes to him in a way, actually, because obviously you think your kind of backup goalkeeper is not going to be the greatest, and fair enough, he's not on Schmeichel's level, but he's been there for us for the moments where, well, we've kind of needed him. Like today, he had a good couple of saves, not that many, but I'm grateful for him. He's actually been really good for us, and I just feel like most people, I don't know how to put it into words, actually. My mind's went completely blank, but my mind's went blank. You need to come back to me. I just lost my train of thought there. But no, I'm grateful. I think he's a great goalkeeper, and he's done his justice. He's came in, just flung into the deep end, and look what he's done. He's been there for 2 cup matches for us, and the chances of Casper's no back for the final will be there as well. So I hold him up high on the pedestal right now. I've got nothing bad to say about him.
He's been doing well. The boy's been doing well.
To be honest, right enough, I think it was a bit of a messy kick out when he tried to clear it there. It almost came straight back at him. But
yeah,
I think he obviously sorted it out at the end of it. But I wouldn't say his distribution looked very, very good at that point.
That's what I'm saying, mate. It's a learning curve, these few games for the boy. You know, as Michelle said, he's going to get a few games. I think we'll have Casper back for I think maybe next week. I think Brendan will bring him back for that game, but we'll see. But I think he'll certainly be back for the cup final. But it's good for the boy to get experience, and he's going to learn like the rest of us from his mistakes. So Andy, on the 13th minute, our strikers used to eat tea cakes, but now they eat tangerines. Enjoy the fruits of our labour. A little protest from the fans today. Brendan didn't like what he seen. But for me, they're quite right. I know it wasn't fun flinging the tangerines on the pitch, but it was quite funny at the end seeing our Dyson picking up one of the tangerines and shoving it in his mouth. But I mean, let's talk about the fan protest quickly, because there was 2. Fans are quite right to protest. Probably a wee bit silly flinging the tangerines on the pitch and stopping the game, but believe it or not, it actually helped us because we didn't get off to a good start. It gave the players a wee bit of a kick up the arse, I thought, and we sort of took control after that. But I don't like to see things like that, things getting flung on the pitch, and because it upsets the players, and you know the players need to keep warm and all these sort of things. And I think Brendan will come out and say that as well. What did you make it?
We spoke about the ticket prices. I made my feelings known about that. Try to take advantage of the fans, knowing that they were going to take the allocation. But I think the banner and maybe the singing would have been enough. I think the tangerines or satsumas or whatever they were thrown on the park just kind of disrupts the game. As you said, it actually worked in our favour, but that wasn't the intent for the fans. It was to really make a point, and they done that. I don't agree with stuff getting thrown in the park, I've got to be honest. I agree with the banner, make your feelings known and sing about it, but I don't think there was any need for that. But I'm pretty sure Maida was quite welcome to having him on here, a wee nibble of the tangerine, give him a wee bit of energy. But it's not something I want to see, and I totally back the GB, but sometimes they do things that aren't quite needed. You know, I think, as I said, the banner and singing about it got the point across.
Aye, Michelle, I'm pretty sure I seen her Paddy flinging a good 6 or 7 on there as well. Did you see him? He orchestrated it all.
He was aiming for everybody. Do you see the wee Dundee United player taking them away? There's a picture going about. He's absolutely fuming. See, to be honest, right, no offence, right, but why would you eat one of those? Because obviously it's your own fans, but anybody could inject them with anything. Like, why would you risk it? I'm sorry, like, just that's a bit dodgy. But Maida was loving it. He was eating half them, smiling and stuff. But that's a bit of a laugh. But as Andy said, wanted to disrupt the game. But how Sarah is it to get whacked in the face with a tangerine for a fair distance? That could move something.
I think it was Paddy trying to hit Idah, to be honest. You know the way he feels Irish players.
He was trying to get his boyfriend's attention and goes in the pitch to give him a wee woo-hoo.
Just when you're talking about players now, picking them up and eating them, it's like, where are the fans been storing them? That's what I want to know, because they don't want to be in their pockets, so, you know.
I mean, how bad were these security guards today that never get tangerines and blow up footballs? Like, were they just, like, doing this?
The thing is about the cost for the tickets, and it's probably cost them more to buy the fruit and the balls as well, you know.
Jesus, man.
That's another point as well for later on. There must have been a few pregnant-looking guys getting balls in the stadium today.
That's all boat and pied for, mate. You know.
It's a beer belly, mate. It's a beer belly. Absolutely brilliant pattern, man. Brilliant. So, Andy, on the 17th minute, first chance for Celtic. Hatate gathers the ball on the edge of the area. Looks like he's going to shoot. Tries to find Kùhn with an excellent ball at the back post. Kùhn a ball here away for making it 1-0, mate.
Aye. It was a great pass for Hatate. Something we see for Hatate quite often. He's got that skill set to play passes like that. It was really stretching for it. It wasn't really going to connect with that ball, but good move all the same. Really, I think apart from right at the start of the game, before the Sinasola incident, I think Idah was up the park, never really done it, mate. But until then, that was it, as you mentioned. So we're over quarter an hour into a game before we really kind of seen it for Celtic. So at least we got to see something. It was a good pass for Hatate.
Aye, and Michelle, Hatate's having a really strong finish to the season. We've seen it last week. 3 assists. He looked absolutely top class again today. You know, his passing, his movement, everything for him today was brilliant. That was a great ball in for Kùhn, who was very unlucky to make it 1-0.
I just feel sorry for Hatate because he's trying his hardest to get these goals and he just seems to be unlucky at every single chance. And obviously he is a kind of player where if there's no chance he's going to get it, he will pass the ball, whereas there's other players who just try, and even if they can pass, they'll just be greedy and stuff. But I do feel for him because he's a fantastic player and he's supporting everybody he can. He's gone in with the best work ethic week after week. So I'm just hoping next coming weeks he's going to be banging the goals right in.
Aye, hopefully starting next week. So Andy, on the 29th minute, it's 1-0 Celtic. Engels with the corner. Big Scales gets up well and heads it towards Jota at the back post. Jota's marked by Strain, who was straining to get to it, and he happily knocks it into the net for us. Good lad. Still no shots on target, but 1-0 Celtic.
Aye, 1-0 Celtic without a shot on target. Good to see a goal coming for a corner, actually. We don't do it enough. I think that boy Strain misses that ball. Jota's poking it away anyway. So whether he put it in or Jota put it in, it didn't matter. The ball ended up in the back of the net. Good to see he's gone 1-0 up. Just before the halfway mark. But I think, you know, with Engels, we know he's got that delivery on him to put a good ball in. And Scales is actually no bad we see it. All right, he wasn't quite on target with that, but it just kind of fell in the right place at the right time. Do I feel sorry for Strain? No, of course I don't. Pretty unfortunate for him, I suppose, scoring their own goal. But as I said, I think Jota was scoring that. Anyway, he was right behind him. He was just about to connect to it with his foot, and the ball just got in front of him.
Aye, Engels, as we know, Michelle, he's good at the set pieces, good at penalties, things like that. He actually played quite well today, to be fair, as well. Great ball in, big Scales up, and unlucky for the boy Strain, but like I said, who cares?
You don't care where the goal comes from. If it's 1-0 to you, you'll take it, whatever way it is. I didn't even realise it was a Dundee United player till I got like another couple looks. I was convinced it was Jota as well, but then I was seeing Jota and Scale celebrating. I'm like, right, what's going on here? But yeah, you could clearly see it was definitely a Dundee United touch. I was kind of hoping it would have been a finish from Jota that would have just set up the day going, but we got the first goal in, and then from there on it was just goal after goal, so can't complain.
Aye, and then a few minutes later, Jamie Brown's called it. Jota looked in a bad way, big concern. Andy, on the 33rd minute, Jota goes down worryingly. It looked innocuous, but Jota heads off and Adam Idah comes on. And it looks like, you know, by the scenes at the end of the game, it looks like it's season over for Jota as well, unfortunately.
I wasn't sure how bad it was going to be, especially when I seen him walking off the park. I'd say to you before we come on, I says, I wonder how bad it is, because it looks a better sign walking off the park than getting stretchered off. So I was kind of optimistic, but obviously at the end, seeing him coming out, that's obviously maybe just a precaution. He's not been for scans or anything like that yet. It's, they've just put that on for precaution, so it might not be as bad as what it looks like when he's got the crutches and the thing. But it doesn't look good, I must admit, because it looks as if he's maybe the way he's landed, his studs have caught in the turf and his knees maybe twisted a wee bit. So, as you know, with knee injuries, they can be really troublesome, especially when it comes to recovery. And then some players just turn the same, and it could be the slightest wee injury they get, and they turn out it really scuppers their career. So fingers crossed it's not too bad. But if it is as bad as that he's going to need crutches and his legs strapped up, then obviously his season is over. So it's all about recovery and getting him back to full health again. So it was unfortunate to see him going off the park.
Aye, Michelle, it's a really bad one for especially wingers to get, who do a lot of twisting and turning. It does look like it's season over for Jota. Fair one for him, very innocuous. I didn't really see what happened. I tried to catch it on the replay.
I was the same. I don't actually know where he's touched him. I kept on looking, but I know that Ian Crocker said it was definitely a twisted knee. Obviously depends his fairy tale of it. They do say if it's less injury, it could be 1 to 2 weeks, and if it's really bad, 6 to 8. So here's hoping it's the 1 to 2. I don't really mind if he misses a Gels game, but I really want him back for the cup final. So I'm just hoping it's just precaution, as Andy says. Because I think we've seen like Carter Vickers going off with crutches one week and walking a pant. It was only a couple of weeks. So right now I'm just going to think positive, and it's just precaution.
Aye, and then on the 37th minute, Andy, our Paddy nearly done a streak on the pitch because Engels was absolutely outstanding. A tremendous break from Celtic, a lovely turn in his own half from Arnie Engels, pings out a lovely ball out to the left wing to Idah, who in turn puts a lovely ball into Kùhn, who made a very difficult chance look easy. Our first shot on goal, it's 2-0 Celtic.
That to me, see if that wasn't Kùhn, that's a Jota goal. See the way he finishes it. Jota's very good at finishing kind of chances when it's a very tight angle. I thought they done really well to finish that, but as you said, the ball for Engels, and then Maida done really well to push on and get the ball across. Great wee ball. Back post, Kùhn's there, finishing it off, and good to see him scoring as well, because he has been getting it tight, and particularly for us as well, other
rightly so,
and stuff like that. But it's not as if it wasn't justified. Maybe you're looking back now and saying maybe you're a wee bit too kind of hard on him. But you know, we call it as we see it each game. That's how your opinion can change on somebody just by game, because if they do put in a good performance, you're going to praise him for it. You're not going to say, aye, he done really well, but he was fucking shite 6 weeks ago or whatever. So you take it game by game, but you certainly, I put in our chat, I says, we need a performance for Kùhn today. This is his opportunity. That's the reason why Brendan started him, to say, right, go on, here's your opportunity, go and contribute to winning the league on that day. I know he's done plenty at the start of the season. He's kind of tailed off a wee bit, but also what I said was, it's his own standards. He's been let down with his own standards because it's been so high for the start of the season. Any kind of drop off at all, you would really notice it. Fingers crossed, he gets back into gets his mojo back again, and we get to see the only thing with Kùhn is, I know we're talking about the goal, but it just comes in too much for me, and he cuts inside far too much for me. It's almost telegraphed. I want to see him in the byline there and try and get the ball there. But I'm obviously delighted that if they scored there, really tight position and poked it away in the back of the net.
Aye, our Michelle getting a lot of love in the comments there, since she's a great addition and stuff like that. It's something that we looked at. We wanted to get a woman on the podcast because we've got quite a lot in the comments. And our Michelle was putting some decent comments and stuff, and it looked like her knowledge was pretty good in the comments and stuff. So we reached out to her, and before she took a diving header off her motorbike, it looked like she was going to come on, but thankfully now she's recovered and she's decent on the pod, but in the group chat, lads, her pattern's a bit honking. But
that's shite, man. Absolutely.
They never ever call me a lady in the group chat. They call me a lady in front of you, but you see the shit they call me in the group chat, trust me. Now you were close to a lady.
So, Michelle, as I said, our Paddy was loving life. Brilliant for Engels in his own half. Great turn. Pings a lovely ball out to Idah. Idah, great ball in. And Kùhn, very difficult finish, but 2-0 Celtic.
Very difficult finish, but he made it look so easy, so effortless. He just like tapped it in and that was it. Just casual, just walking around and stuff like that, thinking, cool, I'm back. And fair play to him. He done his wee, can you hear me now, or whatever he done. So fair play to him, because hands up, I've been getting him stick, you've been getting him stick, but maybe he kind of needed stick. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. It could have just been personal life. We don't know, but as I kept saying in the chat today, he had his Kùhn back. So Kùhn is back, people. Kùhn is back.
Certainly is. It was Brendan made us look silly yet again. So in the 40th minute, Andy, great chance for Idah to make it 3. Not sure what he was doing, really. Good cross in from Hatate, and Idah heads it wide.
Again, a fantastic ball for Hatate, but Idah, you're looking at that going, what you doing? Can't quite work out what he's doing. That's been a couple of times this season. You're looking at Idah and going, how have you not connected with that ball?
Yeah.
So he's got that in him. We've pointed it out before. That can be frustrating at times. And I've said it plenty of times before, you want him to do well. It's not as if you're just waiting for him to fail so that you can have a go at him. You really want him to do well, but he's got to do better in situations like that. I don't even think he connected with the ball at all. I don't know how. It's harder to miss the ball in that situation than actually connect with it in any way. So a very strange one.
It is strange, Michelle, isn't it? We've spoke about it on this pod before you came on, so you would have seen it in the comments and stuff. He is getting chances, you know, and he's missing kind of easy ones like that, but he's still on 18 goals for the season, which is, the boy could have 30.
Yeah.
No, that's what we kept saying. Like, everybody's complaining he's not putting in his pennies worth, but and again, like, for the amount of games he started and coming off the bench, he's actually done not bad. Are you talking about the one where
the header, he just completely missed it, aye?
Obviously, the header, sorry, I thought you were talking about, see, the one that he kind of just jumped over, like, stepped over.
Aye, that was for the goal.
Aye, for the goal, that was just a dummy.
How did he connect with that either? Like, he's just, like, casual, like, right in front of him, and even then he's just, like, steps over it. It's just weird.
I think he actually tried, Michelle. I think he, and he said that I think he was going to try and attempt that ball. I don't know if at last minute he thought, this is too tight for me to even do.
Oh, mate, he actually went for it and completely missed it.
I think so. It just worked out. It looked like a dummy, and it was
exactly.
a good price,
again, on him, he's missing chances. It's like, that's worked in his favour, but every single thing, it's like he's getting these chances that are right in front of him every single time. There's nobody around him, and he's still just, he blanks and just misses it every single time. Like, how many settles are you going to miss? I was getting frustrated with Kyogo doing the same thing, and now Adam Idah's just doing the same thing as well. I'm thinking, focus on the ball. It's like, you've got plenty of time, and he's just like a pile of shit.
Very, very frustrating, and Brendan must be pulling his hair out, and the boy must be pulling his hair out as well. He could be on 30 goals with the chances he's had. He's going to always get chances at Celtic, and as Andy said last week on the post-match, actually, I think he had 3 or 4 chances as well, you know, last weekend, like kind of very easy chances really for a striker, and he's just no sticking them away. So I'm happy that he got his time.
Like, without a doubt, he should have had a hat trick today. The amount of chances he got, it's just, I don't get it. Like, he should be going off there saying, hat trick, cool, let's go for a 4. So he's only got himself to blame. But what the hell is going on?
Aye, it's very, very frustrating watching the boy at times. But like I said, I'm happy he got his 2, and obviously it's a shot in the arm for him for next week if he gets a start. So Andy, there was 5 minutes injury time due to the protest and things like that, and probably Jota's injury as well, which we spoke about. So on the 47th minute, it's 3-0, and it's that boy Nicholas Kùhn again. Idah's movement was unreal. Plays it in. And I've put here, thank God, Idah is hopeless. Completely misses it. He does go for the shot and just completely misses it. Falls to Kùhn, and it's a tap in, mate. 3-0 Celtic.
Kùhn's got to finish for there. It was such an easy chance to put it away. But as you said, Idah putting that ball across it and in real time, I thought that's a really good dummy there. He's been aware that he's been behind him and he's in a better position. But then you look at the replay again and he's actually looked as if he's went to attempt to try and finish that ball, and there's no way he would have scored for it. I really don't think so. It was at the totally wrong angle. He wasn't even balanced right. But as it worked out, it actually did look like a dummy, but it certainly wasn't.
It wasn't, no?
No, it wasn't. But and again, Kùhn's there to stick the ball in the back of the net, and he scored his second goal. So, it was a really good move, actually.
And by the way,
he put it back. That's when I first watched it, like live. It looks as if Idah's purposely kicked it back towards Kùhn until you actually see it close up, and you're like, you've just completely missed it.
Do you think, Michelle, it might be a good idea to bring in a striker coach just to work with the boy, maybe for pre-season or something like that? Because he's got all the attributes that you need, but he's just, I don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is, but surely the guys at the club, the coaches, bring somebody in and just even pay Henrik a barrel load, get him in for the summer and just show the boy, how to finish, man. It's madness. I just don't get it. But anyway, 3-0 Celtic, mate. Cracker.
Oh, sorry. I know you're talking, but you finished it. Yeah, no, definitely. I'd probably bring something in. You could probably actually get Idah to show him how to finish things off. I feel, see, since Idah's been put through in the middle, I don't know if he's had a confidence issue where he's lost his confidence because he knows that Idah is there to fill the void. See if they basically say to him that you're going to be playing 90 minutes from now on, Idah's going to be staying as a winger, you're going to have to get better. I think he can maybe put the attitude aside and work harder. But until maybe the season comes in with a summer transfer when they know there's another striker coming, then I think he'll probably build up his confidence again and start playing much better. Because I think right now he doesn't think he's getting any competition. Because really, who has to get competition-wise with another striker forward? That's what I think.
I think we're going to bring in another striker anyway. So, Andy.
The thing is, Idah had the time with Harry Kùhn when he was still here, didn't he? He seemed to improve him a wee bit. He worked with him personally. I think Idah's a different kind of player for Idah and Kyogo, that kind of stature as their physicality. I think you're looking at somebody like Big Sutton would be his kind of a good coach for him. Just a bit, even about positional sense and stuff like that. He could teach him. But I certainly think a kind of personal touch would maybe help. Maybe he's getting. I mean, we don't know what's happening at Celtic on the training ground. Maybe he is getting that. I don't know. We're just.
But Brendan's always saying he's playing well in the training. He's doing everything like amazingly. So what's happening off pitch is happening on pitch because he's clearly getting praise from Brendan in training.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, and then just before half time, Andy, on the 49th minute, it should have been 4. Idah gets sent clean through and goal, and Kùhn was off to his left-hand shoulder and he tries a back heel, but he just gets it all wrong. It was actually a 2-1 situation and should have been 4-0, mate.
If that came off, it would have been a superb goal, but it didn't quite work out. When Idah tried that wee kind of back heel, just wasn't in the right position. It kind of went straight to the keeper. But as I said, if it did actually work out, I thought to look at it would have been a fantastic goal.
Aye. So it finished, Michelle, at half-time. Dundee United, Celtic 3. What was your overall thoughts in the first half?
It kind of reminded me of the first half of the semi-final last week. It started off kind of pretty slow and frantic, and I thought, this is going to be the same. It's going to take us a wee while to start. And then obviously when the first goal came in in the second, I thought, right, here we go. It's going to be like last week. And it kind of was. So it kept getting better and better. So I was kind of positive going into the second half. We were going to score a good few more goals.
Aye, it certainly was like that, Andy. When at that end of that first half, last week was that 12-minute barrage of 4 goals. And it looked like, well, we should have got 4 again with that missed chance at the very end.
I wrote down here, half-time 3-0, and I've put easy without being vintage. And I think that was it. I think we did find it easy at times without being any real scintillating football. Some good moves now and again, but it's not the first time this season that we've basically the game's done at half-time. How many times have we said that this season?
Yeah.
The game was done. The league was won at half-time. So I was kind of expecting to come out in the second half and just kind of plod away, and nothing would really happen for there because we were content, we were easy, we weren't getting troubled or anything like that. I just want to say, I know Dundee United didn't really trouble us that much, but I think Big CCV had an absolutely outstanding game today. I think he dealt with Dalby very well.
Yeah.
His physicality, he's a big bit of a boy, but I thought CCV done really well without being heavily troubled, but a lot of that was down to he's very good at reading the game, CCV, and where to be and when to stick his leg in and when not to, and when to use his physicality and when not to. A lot of times people look at his pace and say that's maybe his downfall is his pace. It can be just not quick enough, but he reads the game very well. I thought, I know it's totally nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it just came to my mind and I thought I better get it out before I forget. I thought he looked very, very comfortable today, Big Carter Vickers.
Aye, as Craig said, mate, he didn't give that boy a sniff all day. You're right, he totally on his case all day long. So, Michelle, Idah must have been thinking like the rest of us. He must have been in at half-time and thought, I've had 2 great chances there and missed the bay for him, but he didn't miss the next one. On the 46th minute, great play by Celtic. And that old link-up that we've not seen for a while, actually, between Kùhn and AJ, it was back. Cross comes in. Adam Idah makes it 4-0. You are muted.
There we go, came in now.
Yes.
Oh no, we can hear her now.
Oh no. I'm saying that goal I actually missed because my television froze. So I've only kind of been reading about it. So I can't actually comment on it because I didn't see it.
Don't worry. We're Andy.
I apologise. But I celebrated when I read it on Twitter and stuff. So you're going to have to tell me what happened.
So Andy, just the burst on the right hand side by the boys yet again, which we haven't seen for a while because Nicholas Kùhn and AJ's been off it a wee bit as well, to be fair. But it was good to see them back and getting the band back together, shall we say. And good goal for Idah. Good to see him on the score sheet.
Aye, I think it was a good move with AJ and Kùhn. A couple of instances today, quite a few actually. They've had a good relationship, as I say, majority of the season, but slight drop off of one player can affect the other player as well. But particularly today, I thought they done really well. It was a good move. And that ball in Idah, he's no missing for there, is he? There's nobody really challenging him. And he header down into the back of the net. Never really gave the keeper a chance. So, aye, he gets another goal and delighted for him. It's easy street, mate. Absolutely easy. As I said, the game was done at half-time, but good to see him getting on the score sheet again as well.
Certainly is. And I've seen a few comments that were being negative. Well, no, we're just calling the game as we see it. It's a post-match show, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just calling the game as we see it. And in the first half, when it came on, you know, the confidence wasn't there. So we're delighted that he got the 4th goal. We're just calling the game as we see it. I'm sure you've watched it a few times before. So, Michelle, on the 50th minute, stop pricing fans out of football protest. A load of balls get flung on the pitch.
I've never seen so many balls in my life.
Aye.
Who you kidding?
Well, better not say anything. Aye, we'll just keep our thoughts to ourselves. Aye, Brendan not happy again, but the fans have got a point.
No, definitely, I've got a point, but then I can see it from other teams' point of view. What obviously we charge as well when you come to Celtic Park. But what I think the problem is, what's annoying is more the fact is they've put it up because they knew we were going to win there today. Like, they didn't need to do that. That was just taking the piss. And the fact is, even when we went into half time, the full stadium, their half near enough emptied. You moan that you want their money, we give you your money, and then you just walk out. Like, there's loads and loads of Celtic fans who would have loved those seats, and you've just walked out. So I just feel like you've made a point, and then you've went back in your point and just made yourselves look like complete idiots.
Aye, on the 58th minute, Andy, it's 5, and it was all about Kalmak. Quick free kick, does a 1-2 with Hatate, drives into the Dundee United defence, and then plays Idah in, who slots it away beautifully, to be fair. It was a nice finish. And incredibly, as I said earlier, it's actually goal number 18 for Adam Idah this season.
Kalmak picks the ball up and he can see their space in front of him. We've said this many, many times about Celtic. Use the space in front of you, because a lot of times with Celtic, you're picking the ball up, you're automatically looking to the side to, because Brendan's got it into their mind. Just, you know, shift it and move it and make them move. and I've said it many times on here, if there's a space there, go into it and use that space. Cal Mack done that, drove into that space. Absolutely fantastic ball to Idah. And as you said, it was a tight angle to finish for. And we were just talking about that instance where the so-called dummy, that maybe he could have, if he did connect, because it was almost not quite the same, but it was still very tight to score for. So he done very well. All right, he's on his right foot, so he's going to find it easier there. But I thought it was a really good finish. I delighted for him. Goal number 2 for him.
Right. So James, 18 goals coming mostly from the bench. Tell me why Adam Idah is seen as a flop. He's not seen as a flop. We just think there's a lack of confidence here, mate. And the boy could have 30, 40 goals if he tucked away the sort of easier chances that he's had. The goal that he scored was more difficult than the 2 previous that he missed. This is all we're saying, mate. We're not having a massive goal, and we're just saying, he could have had more than what he did. But Michelle, great goal for him anyway.
Yeah, no, I can't complain. At that point, I was like egging him on. I'm like, please, please, please get a hat trick. It's just going to mean the world to you. It'll just give you so much confidence, because obviously everybody has been slagging him, saying he's a flop, saying he's not worth the money and stuff. But as we said, he has got like the potential. He's got the goals, he's got the stats behind him and stuff. It's just, as you're saying, he's missing goals that should be easy tap-ins and stuff. It's so frustrating to watch. And as I said just previously, if Kyogo was the exact same, we're all getting frustrated with him missing chances that should get. I'm going to just keep on him. He's going to be fine. See next season, I just think he's going to be back. Just one more summer season, he'll be back.
See the thing is, Scotty, see if that's Idah coming off the bench every so often in a game, or Kyogo when he was here coming off the bench and getting as little game time as what Adam Idah had. Would they have 18 goals? Because, they still have chances and miss them, but they have longer on the park. They probably have more opportunities to rectify that by scoring goals, and that's how their goal-scoring record is so good. But I think, considering that he has made the majority of his appearances off the bench and get 18 goals at it, is pretty good. And we're not having a go. As I said, I want him to do really well, so I'm delighted for him.
Of course.
You don't want him to fail at all. You don't want any Celtic player to fail. But I do think it's in the head with him a lot of the time, because when he does score, he scores a lot of good goals.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if he's...
Look at Aston Villa game.
Exactly, yeah.
He scores when he needs to score. He's there when we need him. He's been there for the goals that we've actually won games with. Like, we need to remember
season as well, yep.
Mm-hmm. Like, Idah, you wouldn't even see, obviously Idah was playing today, but at one point I'm thinking, where's Idah? He's not scored a single goal in that out of all those 5 goals. If you were to come round to me and say, Celtic scored 5 goals today, name one of them who scored, Idah would be your first instinct, and he scored absolutely nothing. So people have off days.
Yeah. On the 62nd minute, the brilliant Kùhn and Engels were taken off, and the record breaker, Jamesy Forrest, the Prestwick Pele, comes on, and Andy's boy, Bernardo, gets some game time as well. On the 69th minute, great ball in by Forrest. A deflection finds its way to that man again. Idah, I'll put here how has he missed, but maybe been a bit harsh on him. I think the deflection sort of took it away from him a wee bit, Andy.
Aye, but I think it's still a missed opportunity to get a hat-trick there. Maybe a wee bit tough on him. But just a wee bit unfortunate, I think.
Aye, and Michelle, that's what we're talking about. It's just if you take that chance, if you take the other 2 sort of easier chances, the boy could be on 5 goals a day. He should at least be taking a match ball down to the pub the night for the karaoke, but he's getting him with 2. Again, it's just another chance, and it's another one of them where he could be more prolific than what he is. That's all we're saying.
Guaranteed he's walked off that pitch, obviously buzzing because we've won the league, but absolutely frustrated in his performance. I doubt he'll be happy with his performance today after only scoring 2, because he knows deep down that he could have scored at least 40 or even more. So I think he'll walk out knowing what his next target is, knowing what he needs to practice on, knowing what needs to go into the next match, especially against Rangers next week. So I think he'll come into that game as a new person next week.
Hopefully, aye. Let's hope. So after that, it was on the 73rd minute, McCowan and Schlupp on for Hatate and Taylor. Taylor very quiet today. Hatate, brilliant for me. I thought he was outstanding again today. on the 76th minute. Bernardo tries a blaster, but out of the bar. And then after that, Andy, the game sort of petered out, but who cares? The game finishes 5-0 to the champions. And the scenes on the pitch at the end were great to see. Jamesy Forrest as well, now the most decorated player in Celtic's history. The great Bobby Lennox, now in second place, with Callum McGregor set to overtake our Bobby as well next. Just unbelievable scenes. Great result, great goals. Just brilliant to see, mate. 5-0 Celtic.
Aye, absolutely delighted. And I think just before the game finished, Siniso, well, it was the 78th minute, Siniso pulled off a cracking save. It wasn't going to very bearing on the result or anything like that, but I thought, again, we're talking about concentration. Siniso, strong right-handed save there for the Dundee United player. So I just wanted to pinpoint that. But obviously, Jamesy, most decorated Celtic player in our history. Pretty unbelievable when you think about it, because he's not somebody you would say would be he's no what you would say a cult hero or anything like that, you know. He just goes quietly about his business, but he's been there forever, hasn't he? When you actually look back at the footage for James Forrest when he first started playing the Celtic first team, just looks like a wee boy. And yet that's when you realise how long he spent at our club. And I think fantastic for him. When you think of the players we've had at our club and the success we've had, it's some accolade to have, isn't it? To be the most decorated player. Delighted for him. Delighted for the fans. Just absolutely buzzing. The players, you can see, all you need to do is look at the footage and people are talking about TD's this and TD's that, and look at the players' faces, and even Kasper Schmeichel, who's sitting on the bench watching it, video and everything, taking everything in, enjoying themselves. They're beaming. Their faces are beaming. So we never get tired of this. We never get tired of celebrating. Celtic should bring out their own brand of champagne. Maybe they have, I'm not sure, but they certainly should, because they'd make a fortune.
I drink it.
I use it for mouthwash, as I was saying, Andy. So Anthony Tony here is asking, what's this a nails drop some of you have on? It's a friend out in Geneva, the CSC. Me and Andy's got them on. He's got the black one. I've got the green and white hook one. If you contact Nicholas Weir on Facebook, yep. I can't remember how much.
Geneva Celtic Supporters Club. You will they sell them. They can get them made. So, right. Scotty says that's the home one. That was the first one they brought out, and they made an away one as well. So it's pretty much the same. But it's really good quality, good fitting stuff. It's no cheap rubbish. It's very good. So I am pretty sure.
It's a bit like Vessel's shirt in a Europa League match.
Aye, it's very nice indeed.
Yep.
So Michelle, as I said, game finished 5-0, mate. Great scenes to see at the end where Jamesy, the Prestwick Pelly, now our most decorated player. I would like to have seen Bobby Lennox come on and just shake his hand or something like that. Maybe he'll do that as the next home game.
Yeah, I think he'll probably do that.
Nice to see, yeah.
It was obviously amazing to see that we won, and obviously I'm over the moon, but at the same time it's quite sad seeing Jota walk out these crutches, which was like, so it put a wee dampener in it. But yeah, I can't wait for them to properly celebrate lifting the trophy and stuff. So that's just the kind of pre-celebrations. Next couple of weeks were like proper celebrations.
Aye, and Andy, as Michelle just said there, it was sad to see Jota on the old crutches at the end, and it certainly does look like season over for the guy for Portugal.
Aye, unfortunate, but hopefully, as I said, it's not too bad. He recovers well, because we're going to need him. We're going to have Champions League qualifiers and stuff like that to get into before the season really starts. So fingers crossed he recovers well, and fingers crossed that whoever comes in to take his place or whatever will do the job as well. But really, it's unfortunate to see him get an injury like that. Our superstar for Portugal. Because I think he's had a rough couple of years, maybe. And he's seen this as a kind of real light coming back to Celtic, a club he loves, with fans that love him. But he'll still celebrate. You know, I know he's injured, but I'm pretty sure he'll be all right, and he'll still enjoy himself. I know there was something happening at the end of the game. I don't know what.
I was going to say that as well.
Involving a fan, but you could see that he was actually pretty interesting. He was concerned, I think, you know, to see what was happening. He didn't just walk away. So Jota's got that connection with the fans. When you look back to the whole his first term here, and he's in the Brazen Heat with a bumblebee tap on, and you know, you love to see that for a guy from Portugal. You know, sometimes he knows more about the club than people that are actually born here. It looks as if he cares more about the club than people that are actually born here. He loves it here. So fingers crossed he's all right. I think he's going to be a huge player for us. Hopefully he gets a good pre-season under his belt, if he recovers all right, and straight on it again for the start of the season. Aye,
where Michelle is better now. Ron Boy, she got her brace off now, so she's nearly back to full fitness. That's us, ladies and gentlemen. Our Paddy is at the game with his grandson. Our Jerry is away picking up his new car with his good lady.
Ooh.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for all the comments. As Andrew Gillespie has said, we are indeed the champions again. It's 4 in a row. It's 13 titles in 14 seasons. Just quite unbelievable. Very tedious, as we all know. But that'll do us. We'll see you all on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. All the best. Hail, hail. We are the champions.
One hoops.
Someday you will find